Hey everyone, welcome to the Finance Current Affairs session. So let's quickly discuss the questions. The very first question is the National Strategy for Financial Inclusion, a very important area where you need to have your grip. So your National Strategy for Financial Inclusion related to 2025 and 2030 got released recently. So it approved the sale mechanism before being officially announced by the Reserve Bank of India. Which body actually approved the NSFI? Which body actually approved the NSFI before it's released? So there is a body which is approving this particular report before the release date. So which is the one here? Which is the one body approving the NSFI? That's FSDCSC committee. So that's your Financial Stability and Development Council subcommittee. Okay, option B is the correct choice. Next one, you need to identify here the correct statement. You have to identify here the correct statement. So the first statement is private sector bank remained lower than that of the public sector bank as per the BSR1 report. Second one, private sector bank remained higher than the public sector bank as compared to the September 2024 as per the BSR2 data. So we all know that BSR1 relates to deposit, the BSR1 relates to your credit, BSR2 relates to your deposits. So here both the statements are correct. In terms of credit, the public sector banks are outpacing the private sector banks, and in terms of deposits, the private sector banks are outpacing the public sector bank, right? Next one. Can you tell me the name of 5 strategic objectives as under the NSFI 2030? The NSFI framework provides a structured vision for improving the access, for improving the usage and quality of the financial services across India. Tell me the name of 5 strategic objectives given in this NSFI 2030. Everyone in the comment section. And the correct choice here is option B. Option B, Panch Jyoti is the name of the 5 strategic objectives as mentioned in the report. Acha, tell me, large national strategies such as NSFI require expert consultation and technical validation. So can you guys tell me which is the technical group which has actually given the consultation and technical validation to the NSFI framed recently? Which is the group responsible for the consultation and the technical validation? The correct choice here will be, guys, option C, technical group on financial inclusion and financial literacy. So we have a technical group on the financial inclusion and financial literacy which the NSFI has consulted and taken the validation. Next one, as per the recently released RBI data, India's domestic systematically important bank framework. What are the names of the banks that are classified as the systematically important as of now? Names of systematically important banks in India. And here the correct choice is SBI, HDFC and ICICI, right? So SBI, HDFC and ICICI are classified as domestic systematically important banks, right? And can you guys tell me the additional CET1 capital which is now required by HDFC Bank under the DSIB? We all know that these domestic systematically important bank has to keep a additional CET1 requirement. So what is that requirement? What is that requirement? How much percentage of additional CET1 is required? So HDFC Bank has to keep a requirement of 0.40 of the risk weighted assets ratio, right? That's what we have discussed yesterday. Now the capital regulations require banks to hold certain amount of buffer aimed at protecting the financial system during the period of stress. This component also influences the dividend distribution and risk-taking behavior of the banks. Which of the following best describes this regulatory requirement? Which of the following best describes this regulatory environment where we are keeping buffers for the protection of financial system during the period of stress? The correct answer here is, guys, is it option A, dynamic provisioning requirement, option B, counter cyclical capital buffer, option C, capital conservation buffer, or option D, liquidity coverage adjustment? Which one of the following is the correct here? The correct one here is option C, capital conservation buffer, right? Capital conservation buffer. Next one, can you guys tell me the year-on-year growth rate as published under the BSR 1 of September 2025? And when we talk about BSR 1, we are talking about the credit growth rate, right? BSR 1 is related to the credit growth rate data. So for September 2025, can you tell me the credit growth rate? The correct answer is option B, 10.7%, right? 10.7% was the credit growth rate as per BSR 1. Next one is related to the capital account balance for the April to September month 2025, right? So from April month to September 2025 data related to capital account transaction, what was the data in terms of USD? In terms of USD, what was the data? The data was 8.6 billion, right? 8.6 billion US dollars was the data. 8.6 billion dollar. Acha, can you guys tell me the current capital conservation buffer rate which is required to be maintained in India as per the Reserve Bank of India guidelines? We all know that Basel norms, as per the Basel norms, we have to maintain a buffer. And what is the RBI guideline related to the capital conservation buffer as of now in India, which we need to maintain? The correct choice here will be option B, 2.5%. Okay, 2.5% is the correct choice. Next one, tell me the year-on-year growth rate related to deposits as stated in the BSR data, BSR2 reporting published in recent week. The data is pertaining to September 2025. You need to tell me the year-on-year deposit growth rate. So the correct answer here is option A, 9.9%, right? Deposit growth rate was 9.9%. Next one. The movements in the country's foreign exchange reserve arises from several balance of payment components. During certain period, the trade balances, service inflows, remittances and income payments significantly influences the current account positions also. So according to the recent assessment related to the April to September 2025 month, what was the recorded current account balance? What was the recorded current account balance? The current account balance as of now is option C 15.1 billion USD, right? Next one. So we have recently conducted the variable rate reverse operation. Can you tell me the main purpose of variable rate reverse operation conducted by Reserve Bank of India? That is for the absorption of surplus liquidity, right? That is for the absorption of surplus liquidity from the system. Which state received the 400 million program recently? So multilateral agencies are offering support to state level infrastructure programs through structured financing framework. So in a recent approval, a result based lending program was sanctioned to strengthen the transport network, right? For the transport network and reducing the environmental risk. So which state has received 400 million USD program? Odisha, Gujarat, Maharashtra or Tamil Nadu? And the correct choice here is, guys, option C, Maharashtra, right? Maharashtra is the state getting this kind of support. Next one. The digital payment infrastructure continues to evolve with the new features and enhance the user's convenience and operational flexibility. A recent launch introduced a mechanism enabling the designated individuals to conduct transactions on behalf of account holders under the defined limits. This design supports dependent users, senior citizens, and supervised financial behavior. What type of functionality was introduced under this feature? What type of functionality was introduced under this particular feature? The functionality which is introduced is full delegation, right? So from the UPI circle, now the primary user can now fully delegate all the authorities. That's one of the feature which was introduced. Next one, the regulator has expressed concerns regarding the delayed access to transaction data in certain digital payment channels. To strengthen the real-time oversight and risk detection, an upgraded platform has been launched, that the standardization and which is accelerating actually the reporting by the member banks. So this initiative is intended to close information gap and enable the quicker supervisory responses. So now the channel with which the data is being transferred related to digital payments, there's a delay between the transaction occurrence and the reporting to the Reserve Bank of India. And now we are going to introduce a new reporting platform which will enhance the data reported to the RBI, particularly related to the net banking, right? Particularly related to the net banking. So which is the one? The correct choice will be Banking Connect. Okay, option B, Banking Connect will be the correct choice. Next one. The recent national strategies for financial inclusion emphasizes not just for providing access to the accounts but also ensuring sustained usage, right? Which approach best describes the new orientation? Now in the updated framework, you will be getting the integration will be there from multiple stakeholders like regulators, like financial institutions, like skill development agencies, even the social welfare networks, right? For maximizing the collective impact. So which approach best describes this new orientation? The approach is, options are in front of you. Which is the approach? The correct choice here will be option C, right? Option C is the correct choice. They talk about synergy here. They talk about synergy related ecosystem approach, right? So synergy means because multiple stakeholders are coming together here, so this will create a kind of synergy here, right? Next one, can you tell me the reported real GDP growth rate for Q2 of financial year 2026? So here the correct choice will be option B, 8.2%, right? 8.2% GDP actually expanded by 8.2%, which is quite a good number, right? Which is quite a good number. Next one, the public sector lenders continue to collaborate in a specialized domains to enhance their ability to fund complex and large scale projects. A recent partnership which is aimed to pool expertise and strengthening the appraisal capabilities and develop sector specific framework for the long-term investment. Which area is targeted through the newly established Joint Center of Excellence? Is it the infrastructure risk modeling, sustainable finance analytics, project financing, or corporate debt restructuring? So SBI and BOI has recently signed a MOU related to the project finance, right? Related to the project finance. Next one, in its recent review, the IMF has updated India's categorization based on the observed exchange rate behavior over the period of time. So they have observed the exchange rate behavior period over the time. Accordingly, IMF, what is the India's de facto FX regime? Is it stabilized? Is it free floating? Is it a crawl like arrangement or conventional peg? So we know that it is a crawl like arrangement as of now, right? So from the stabilized arrangement, India is now towards the crawl like arrangement. That's what IMF has reclassified related to the India's FX regime. Next one, you need to tell me the full form of NUDGE, which is related to improving the voluntary compliance in reporting overseas income and asset, right? A program of CBDC for increasing the compliance in reporting the overseas income and assets. For increasing the compliance in the overseeing of the income and asset. Let's suppose I have some overseas assets and I do have some foreign income. So in that case, there will be strict compliance related to laws and regulation, right? And that's why CBDC has its own program. The full form here is option C, non-intrusive usage of data and data to guide and enable, right? This is the correct choice. And next one, what grade did India receive recently on its national accounts assessment from the IMF? Here India has received a C grade. India has received a C grade here. Next one is related to the year-on-year release data of the housing price index in Q2 of financial year 2026. What was the increase? What was the increase here? The increase was 2.2%. Okay, the increase was 2.2% here. Next one, can you tell me the industrial output growth which was recorded in October 2025? Industrial output growth which was recorded in October 2025. The correct choice here will be option C, 0.4%. Okay, 0.4% is the correct one. Next one is the what percentage did the UPI volume increased in November 2025 as compared to November 2024? what was the percentage increase in the UPI transaction in the November 2025 as compared to the November 2024 month. So the correct choice will be option B, 23% was the increase in terms of volume, right? MSME often face challenges in accessing the credit due to limited collateral and lack of formal financial records. So recently, a new model, a new framework has been launched for this purpose. Can you tell me the name of the new model which is launched? Now that's your homework question. That's your homework question, and do let me know in the comment section which one is the correct choice, okay? For those who are preparing SEBI, you can check out this SEBI Crash Course 3.0 which is going to start. And for those who are preparing for RBI, they can check for the 101 mentorship batch, right? They can explore the more benefits. Link is there in the comment section. So thank you so much guys. If you are looking for mentorship, you can check these two batches. Thank you so much for attending the session. See you soon next week, Thursday, Friday, 8 p.m.